Welcome to the Women in Vinyl podcast with Jen DiEugenio, founder of Women in Vinyl, and contributor Robin Raymond. This podcast facilitates conversations with those working in the vinyl record industry to educate, demystify, and diversify the vinyl community.
Welcome back to the Women in Vinyl podcast. We've been on a little summer break, but we're back with episode 61, and we're discussing some conversations that are shaping the vinyl industry right now, from sustainability updates and canceling Spotify to Gen Z and pressing and ever-evolving tariff drama. Join in on the conversation, and thank you to everyone for hanging out, listening, and supporting. Also, if you haven't checked out our Resonating Voices series, those are now available in independent record stores, and a part of the proceeds go to Women in Vinyl. The most recent release is this Dua Lipa Radical Optimism. It's on special Galaxy Blue vinyl and is only available at your indie record store. So be sure to ask them to order one, and thanks for supporting. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join in on the conversation, womeninvinyl.com.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back.
Summer is coming to a close, and here we are.
How dare you say that? It's only July. Gosh. Just because there's spooky stuff in all of the stores doesn't mean that it's over yet.
Oh, but I can't wait. Can't wait to put up all the decorations.
Oh, I mean, start tomorrow. I already have.
I guess, our houses both kind of look like that all year. So
yeah. I keep telling the ladies who shade me at the stores, like, every day is spooky season if you do it correctly. Like, there's no need for everything to be pastel or neon during the summertime.
Oh.
No. But yeah, it's July. Here we are. It's, some people are having summer vacation. We're still here in the trenches. Here we are.
Pushing through and giving some updates on what's been going on.
Yeah, the industry is industrying still. Still keeps turning like a record baby, right round. But there's like some spicy things that we want to talk about and some interesting things that we want to talk about. There's some hot takes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. My favorite.
Well, we can start with sustainability.
Let's do it.
So our lovely friends in the organizations, the Vinyl Alliance and VRMA, have been working pretty hard on some benchmarks for environmental. So I was looking around at some of those reports. I thought there was an interesting statistic that for some reason the internet was comparing to steak sizes. So
I mean, two of my favorite things, records and steaks. I'm here for it. I don't know that I believe it, but sure.
Yeah. Basically, they were saying that vinyl records carbon footprint was at 1.15 kg CO2e per unit. And that was from raw materials to end of life. And so, like most people, I was like, the hell does that mean? And so, in looking some more, the internet said that that basically means it's as much carbon as cooking and eating an 8-ounce steak. So, since I was still like, what does that really mean? It said also like driving 3 miles. So pressing 10,000 records has the same impact as either serving 10,000 steaks or or driving 30,000 miles, which was back and forth across the US 8.5 times.
I mean,
You're welcome.
I don't know if I believe that. Just being someone who has grown up on a cattle ranch. I don't know. I mean,
that's true. I don't know if people know that you have that background.
yeah. Yeah. Up here in rural Alberta. Yeah. I grew up on a cattle ranch and we had a lot of cows. And I mean, up here in Canada, we don't really do a lot of factory farming. So that's my first question is like, what kind of farm is it? What kind of cow is it? Um, I mean, also, like, how are you cooking the steak? Is that on a barbecue or is that, an induction range? I have so many questions
It's a weird.
about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a weird one. I mean, because like the carbon footprint of beef cattle is generally like it's 8 to 22 kilos per CO2e per kilo of live weight, though. So, but that's like dependent on how you farm, where you're farming, if you're a factory farm, if you're like a feedlot, if you're a free range, like if you just have like roaming, and then like methane, manure, greenhouse gases, like that kind of stuff. Like all that stuff is also factored into like beef numbers. But then like the life of the record is the other question that I have because
There are.
if you if they're generational too. So I don't know. I have thoughts. I have thoughts and feelings. I know that the guys from Stamper Discs were also doing some investigatory journalism. Um, so I know that they've had a couple of conversations on LinkedIn that have been interesting. So, so yeah, I mean, maybe. Well, I'll say maybe. It's a maybe. It's a maybe for me.
I think like at the same time, there's been a lot of talk about AI music, and
Hmm.
I know that we're going to get into streaming here, which is definitely I even put a bullet point in our outline, Robin hot take for this.
That's right.
I thought it would be interesting to find out about like Chat GPT use because I find so many people are putting musical things through Chat GPT. So
Hmm.
it said that um it would be the equivalent of roughly charging your phone for a few minutes,
Hmm.
equal what vinyl record production output was saying. But
Hmm.
being an AI model can equal the emissions of pressing over 200,000 records. So
Yeah.
analog.
Well, I mean, there's the whole conversation about like streaming farms and how much water they use and that whole side of the conversation too. So, I mean, if you look at, I, I keep seeing this one story pop up on my Instagram feed that is about people that live by like Facebook's um, like data farm and like they can't drink the water out of their taps because the facility is pulling so much water to cool their computer towers. I don't know. I'm not a computer scientist. To keep them cooled that they like their water, they don't have enough water pressure to get water into their sink.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And they're like a few miles away from the like the data farm or whatever the hell they call it. So,
Yeah. I
I
think
mean, we know that records are made out of plastic.
right.
You know that. We accept that. There's like different ways, different plastics, as we've gone over numerous times. So, I mean, some people have thoughts and feelings about PETG. I think that they're fine because it's recyclable for me. So, I got into a little bit of a discussion on Instagram in the comments. Yes, I went right into the comments and I dove in head first in like the in a nice way though. But there was still some shade to be thrown around um, about how people feel about like lathe cuts versus pressed records in general. But we can talk about that in another bullet point. But yeah, we've got plastic, we have nickel for stampers. I mean, we've talked about potential advancements there where we're using ceramic stampers instead of nickel stampers. Again, there's that price point that we always talk about. Um, Recycled PVC. There's the conversation about whether virgin vinyl is better than regrind, which we've talked about
Yep.
ad nauseum. Um, And then injection molding and recycled vinyl, bio vinyl,
Yep.
green vinyl.
I
So
think,
there's advancements.
I mean, we interviewed the Green Vinyl folks, and I
Hmm.
which are now Good Neighbor.
Yeah.
And so they're doing the injection molding stuff. And we talked to them about their process, which was still electroplating. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Um, in the whole idea of being more eco-conscious. That part isn't, but we might talk to them again. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then recently I saw this Sonopress thing,
Hmm.
which looks like it was with Warner Music. So maybe Billy knows more about that. But it's saying that it was the first eco record with Liam Gallagher and John.
Hmm.
And so that also looks like it's using recyclable PET instead of.
Hmm.
And I know,
Yeah, and I mean, and they say no natural gas, no steam is used as well, so they're reducing the manufacturing by like 85%, quote unquote, versus the conventional method, which would be regular record pressing. But again, with what pressing machine, because a light tone is different than a warm tone if you're looking at the viral machine specifically, and then if you look at Phoenix or a Fairchild or a Hamilton or what else is there?
I mean, I think that's it these days.
Yeah. Then, then all of those mechanical processes have different needs as well. Like the light tone doesn't need steam and doesn't so it doesn't need a boiler, but still needs a chiller, as far as I understand. So which conventional press are we talking about here? But I mean, still a step in the right direction, I would say.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some of the ocean plastics and we
Hmm.
actually, tried to press some of that and it was not working out. That might have just been our experience with it, but
Yeah.
I think there's still some stuff that uh, needs to get worked out there. Plus, I wonder, I think we need to find places that are willing to do some of this R&D. Maybe some of them are. I just don't know who they are. But because it's kind of scary to put things like there was one that was like it was like a sugar compound of some variety.
Oh, hilarious.
So like I can't imagine like how that would mess up the press potentially.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to try it. I have too many.
Burning sugar on metal? No, that sounds awful. No, thank you. I mean, we've all burnt like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, molten sugar doesn't sound like a good time. No, it doesn't.
But yeah, I think that's some of what this I2M's Renew project sounded like it was about, was kind of trying some of these alternative recycled post-consumer.
Mm.
So
Yeah, well, and then I mean, there's also, recycling of paper or the use of non-paper for like labels, like the way that our friends at Green Vinyl, Good Neighbor, um, do like a laser print kind of situation on directly onto their records. So the label is actually just like embedded and ink on the record surface rather than being a paper product. Recycled jackets, recycled inserts, trying to minimize all of those different aspects of whatever. But at the same time, trying to make cool packaging that will entice the humans into wanting to buy your record.
yeah,
But again, it's always going to be how good does it sound? Because that is always one of the biggest conversations, right?
yeah.
And everybody has thoughts and feelings about it, as we've discussed, which ultimately just goes back to your playback systems. So,
Yep.
whatever.
Everybody depends on that too.
Yeah.
Someone on the Discogs thing that I did, they were like, "Oh, too bad there's a terrible system she's listening to it on." I was like, "Last time I checked, a 1200 isn't a terrible system." So thanks, bye.
Yeah. I mean, and sorry, ma'am, who said that ever? I will challenge you in the comments.
Probably someone with like some Macintosh fancy.
Again, you know what I mean? Like, okay, try and box that up and take that out DJing, and then you tell me which one plays better.
Yeah. Also,
Like, I feel like there was actually like a video of like some DJ dudes throwing a 1200 off of a roof and still being able to play records on it.
uh,
So,
well, we get paid what we get paid in record pressing, and 1200 will last us a long time.
also that, I mean, indestructible. Truly. I mean, as you and I always always happens to us. Hey, my person is having a birthday or insert seasonal event and I want to get them a record player. What should I do? What should I spend? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Oh God. Okay."
That's
So
why
I finally
we do this.
yeah, well, exactly. And I was like, "I will come with you to the store. I'm not doing this over Instagram." Like, you want the bee's knees? Let's do it. And we wound up getting, because they had come over to our house and watched my Tech 12 while we were listening to records while they were over. We started to talk about different like turntables because I was like, well, I mean, the world is your oyster, ma'am. Like you tell me A, what your price point is, and then B, what your aesthetic is, and then C, what you're expecting from your tiny little record player. Like, is it shouldering all of your hopes and dreams, and you think that all of your music needs to be throughout your house at the same time as this thing is happening? Or are you involved in the analog ritual that we're all involved in? And you're like, no, I'm going to just sit in front of it and then I'll flip a record. Okay, good. Because I'm like, that, all that stuff plays into it. Plus, like preamps and all that stuff. And like, they were both like a little bit mind blown. And I was like, fair. Okay. That's step one. Now we'll go to a store and you can like look at them.
Yeah.
Okay. So we went to a record store here in Calgary, that old retro store in Inglewood. I mean, is Canada Inglewood kind of, it's not. It's not. It's very trendy. It's very white. It's very shoppable. But they do a really great job there and they take in gear and they have some new gear too, but they'll rejuvenate, refresh, and mechanically certify turntables, receivers, all the things. So I was like, let's start here. And yeah, like it was a great representation of like all of the price points, all of the things, all the bolt-ons. And she left with a brand new Audio Technica
Awesome.
that is like the version of like their version of the Tech 12.
That's exactly what I did to my sister when she asked Ray and I. We were like, yep, just one to start with. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, non-biased, non-partisan opinion. Like we
Yeah.
both have Tech 12s. The Audio Technica is a sponsor of this podcast, and we love and support them with their gear sponsorships with our lovely headphones and our lovely microphones. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube. So I mean, but it's I don't want to go down the playback wormhole because we do that all of the time, but you know, is that going to play into the recyclable conversation? Like, are these new materials going to change the way that we are looking at playback systems potentially? Will they be harder on styluses?
And I'd be
Sound right?
interested in the comments to know if people feel that they would be willing to adjust to a new sound if it
Mhm.
meant that it was more eco-friendly. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Let us know down below how you feel about sound quality and whether that is an evolving concept for you and how you feel about that. Like, I mean, there's always ways that you can modify your playback system in order to eke out every little detail that you want to get. But yeah, I'm curious about that because I'm like, oh, well, like maybe Ortophone is going to do some R&D on like maybe what a more robust stylus could be to work on recycled plastic. If that's an ocean plastic kind of thing, because it seems to me that's what the issue is. There's a lot of surface noise, which I mean, if you're cutting a hot enough record, baby, it don't matter. You're not going to put you're not going to put like soothing whale sounds and like delicate classical music on recycled vinyl.
Although that would be a perfect thing to start out with. Whale
It,
sound
it
plastic record.
truly, I mean, I'm an innovator, I know, but like you get the sound of the water just from the surface noise. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Like maybe you put your ear up to it and you hear the waves like a conch shell. Yeah.
Copyright patent, which totally random thought with that
Yeah.
copyright there. When Selena Gomez came out with the Oreos that are have little turntables, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
final podcast episodes 2, 3, 4, when we like talking about cookies, I was like, Robin,
I know. I know. I know. I saw them and I was like, really? I mean, she's cuter. I'll give her that. But the idea started here
sure did.
first. That's what we do here, just giving away the ideas. Often imitated, never duplicated, unless you're doing the same record one by one in real time, ad nauseum. That's the only time you duplicate. But like, yeah, it just proves we know what we're talking about, really. Doing cookies and turntables. Heard it here first. Episode 2, way back.
Oh, so funny. Well, and the hot button topic, if you don't follow Robin's Instagram, Robin really hates Spotify for
I
good.
hate it.
And I think it's interesting because like we're one of like Spotify is where we do really well. And so I think this is going to be an interesting topic to talk
Mhm.
about. I was thinking about it and I was like, is it actually young people who are streaming, or is it like us elder millennials who are part of the problem? Because we
Mhm.
platforms? I don't know. And so I'm curious to know like your thoughts on all of this because like just quickly for people who don't know, which I think everybody knows by now, but Spotify pays out like 0.003 to 0.005% per stream. So you have to have like
Mhm.
1,000 plays to even get anything. Uh,
1,000 plays from 500 unique listeners or accounts every month in order to stay monetized.
yeah.
If you don't achieve those metrics, you get demonetized. So whatever um, monetary gallery dues you would be entitled to for your number of streams are just filtered up to the people that are still monetized.
Yeah. And so we talk about this because I think sometimes people see cost of vinyl or uh,
Mhm.
think about like how they're consuming music and everybody's like, oh, vinyl's back. Or like, I know that people listening to this aren't thinking that. We all know that, but we all hear that,
Mhm.
as these Gen Z surveys and things are going around, um, with vinyl being what it is. I'm interested to hear, like, Robin, maybe what do you think are some other services or like ways that people could consume this stuff without maybe supporting something like Spotify?
Well, well, there's a few different streaming alternatives, as we all know. I mean, um, Spotify does do well with podcasts. And I think the payout for podcasts is actually a little bit different than music. Because so far we don't know if there are AI generated podcasts. So there still are people behind some of the podcasts on Spotify. And it looks like in the first quarter they paid out $100 million to like podcast publishers in the first quarter of 2025. Spotify did. So I think there's a there's a difference in those worlds between podcasts and putting up music because there's like 192,000 songs uploaded every day into streaming platforms, and only 3% of those are of the major labels. So the rest of that other 97% is independent creators or I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but like AI generated music. Dun dun dun. So here's where it gets dark. Some of the major labels have invested in Spotify, and that's why they push it so hard, um, with like discovering music and all of that kind of stuff. But so they've got this relationship with Spotify where they're invested in Spotify, so they want it to do well. They need it to do well, and then they're training AI on their catalogs, like their artist catalogs, and now putting up AI music into Spotify. And so then Spotify and the label get paid back directly from those AI bands because there's no band to pay out.
Do you know anything about the fans first vinyl that's released through Spotify? Because I see that sometimes if you're like a if someone's your
Yeah.
and I know that at the pressing plant, like we do a lot of Spotify variants, and I wonder if
Mhm.
thing that they're doing to try to like show that they're supporting artists and like creating a piece of physical media. I'm not really sure of that relationship. I didn't know if you.
Neither am I. I've been trying to do some like investigatory journalism on it to try and figure out, but there's like so many dark corners um of all of this to try and like figure out where the information is actually coming from. I mean, I'm just gonna look here, see if I
Yeah, like we literally just did one, and I've been curious like how that was happening.
hmm
Like what like I don't
Well,
know.
because like Warner did one for Linkin Park with their stupid new singer. Um, Coke bottle clear, limited to 6,600 copies. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of like transparent information about how some of those programs work because it seems like it's a lot of like big names and it's just another like limited edition blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they did one for Billie Eilish, they've done Lana Del Rey, they've done Olivia Rodrigo,
Yeah.
Jessie Ware, like Pierce the Veil. So I mean there's a ton of them. Um but like yeah, it's kind of gross. It's gross. Apple Music pays better, Tidal pays better. I mean, if you actually want more of your dollars to go to the artists that are making your music, making music for you, I mean, even Bandcamp is a little bit gross, right? Not as gross, but YouTube still pays more for everything than any of the streaming services. So, I mean,
Yeah, Ray and I were just talking this morning about how that seems to be the way like
mhm,
forward for a lot of things is you.
even us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not only do you get to see our lovely little faces and our side eyes or little signs that we might hold up that you don't know about on the audio podcast, but I mean, it's to me like it's tough, right? Because I understand the discovery portion, like the playlists and whatever on Spotify are really good, and I won't say that they're not. I get it. But the average person isn't going to look for the credits. You know what I mean? So they nobody knows if that is a real band or not.
Right.
Like this band, what are they called? The Velvet Sundown? Yeah. Which also sounds like doesn't sound like a band I would ever listen to in my life, but it is a completely AI generated band on Spotify
You know what?
that was racking up over 500,000 plays a month.
Oh my God. Who is it going to? Just back into
The
spot.
label. Yeah, or the label, like whoever kind of created it. I mean, that's kind of the problem because you don't know. Like it says that their label is the Velvet Sundown, like that that they are self-released.
Are they like cartoons like the gorillas?
No, it's like they have actual photos on Spotify. So that's the thing. Like they were representing that they were these like four dudes. Um, I mean, and they've got like 1.5 million listeners a month, but people don't know that that is just AI.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
should we should see what happens if we like told AI to make a podcast of us.
Oh yeah. Let's do it. I mean, that would be hilarious, actually. I can't wait to see would what I would look and sound like. But like
Patreon would
it's
be funny.
yeah, totally. But like but it's like that, right? Like there was a guy that like jumped on one of the social platforms and was like speaking as them, and then he had to like out himself and say, "Hey, this is a hoax," because like that band doesn't exist, by the way. So yeah, it's weird. I mean, like they have an Instagram that has like 3,000 followers and stuff, like, but if you look at it, you can tell that all of the images are AI generated.
Exactly.
Like it's
We talked about this a little before, but this all just kills me. As like just as
yeah, and I mean they rip off like the thing that gets me the worst is like the album covers just look like bad Tame Impala record covers. And like shout out to Kevin Parker. Kevin Parker is just one guy. Tame Impala is one guy. And he just like does it and like does it really well. So to have something like this like bite him so hard also is just again, I'm gonna say it's gross. Um yeah, Spotify's it's rough. I mean, that is like the lukewarm of the rough when you start to see like what kind of payouts Daniel Ek has taken in divesting all of these hundreds of millions of dollars from artists and then now investing in AI military technology as well. So just yesterday, if you're listening to this when it comes out, I mean, it's not going to be yesterday. Right now, it is July 26th. So yesterday, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard pulled all their catalog off. And they're just like, yeah, not doing. And so did Zuzu. So, I mean, I think we're going to start seeing some of those kind of conversations. I mean, I am counseling any of the bands that I'm working with to just have like one song up on Spotify, like one single, change up the single, like if you're going to do it, because in my experience of making short runs of records for people, once the average person has your music and your entire catalog for free in their pocket, they're not going to buy your physical product. We all know the physical product pays you out more than you're ever going to get from streaming in the next 1,000 years, especially if you're just like a little local band, because again, going back to the stat, like over 192,000 songs every single day. How are you supposed to swim to the top of that trash heap and get to that, you know, like not for nothing, but it's also changed like composition. It's changed songwriting as we know it. Because if you don't hook that person within the first 30 seconds, you don't get paid for the stream.
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, would we ever see a stairway? Will we see a stairway to heaven written? You know what I mean? Like, who's going to take a chance on a 7.5 minute song? We've already seen the destruction of the album as a concept.
Yeah, that was going to be exactly my point. It's like because the
Hmm.
mixtape almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With no association of like who's making that music. And like, there's no very often. I mean, I say this proudly. Like, I canceled Spotify like years ago. I don't listen to Spotify at all. Um, I mean, I don't think Garth Brooks's catalog is available on Spotify. Henry Rollins wasn't available on Spotify. There's a lot of different artists that have felt certain ways. I think we'll start to see more people start to pull things down. I mean, having your own account, like your own website, and having some sort of a player. I know it's a little clunky, but Bandcamp is always going to. I just wish that Bandcamp had a better interaction.
Yeah, like
Um,
it's not fast.
yeah, yeah. But like now there's also a Canadian version that's called Hio, HIO, which I love. And it was made by a few incredible Canadian legends, two of my good buddies, Eamon and Ryder. And it's Canadian only right now, but it also operates as like socials and a Bandcamp kind of situation. But you pay for the music that you use. So when the Cancer Bats were on tour earlier this year, and I think they were in St. Louis, and their trailer and van got stolen. All of their gear was gone, and they were like, what are we going to do? So they released two records that have never been put out anywhere. There are two live records, and they're like, we're just going to put these out on Hio. And Hio said every single dollar that anybody, like any purchase that is made of these records, goes directly to the Cancer Bats. 100% of those dollars went to the Cancer Bats to try and get them back into touring. As quickly as possible. So, I mean, there's some innovation happening. There's some, it's obviously like it's still kind of in beta, but it's beautiful. It's like a really cool little app. And if you love Canadian music, which you should because we're brilliant up here, that's a way where you can directly interact with Canadian artists and have that like streaming and like playlist kind of sensibility where there is discovery, but it is very limited to Canadian musicians right now. And it's limited to the Canadian musicians that know about it because it's still kind of, an inside industry, not really a secret, but like, I don't know. Those guys are kind of understated dudes too. So, I'm always like, hey, look at Hio. This is cool. And people are like, oh, what the shit is this? And I'm like, I know, right? These guys are brilliant. This is cool. So, I mean, Canadian's gonna Canadian, but like that, I think that's cool that, somebody is actually an artist, like it's artist led. And they were like, this is the way that we think that we need to go forward. So, that it's making actual differences for Canadian artists, which I think is pretty cool. It's always going to be better to buy concert tickets from a person. It's always going to be better to buy physical product. I mean, there's a tape revolution still happening. People are starting to put out new tape players, which I love.
Yeah,
Um,
love that.
yeah, totally. But there's always going to be those people that are like, music is a fundamental right. No, genius, it's not. No, like it's yeah. I mean, it's polarizing for sure because once you let the genie out of the bottle and made everything completely available globally, millions and millions and millions more music than you could ever listen to in your entire life available. How do you claw that back and say, oh no, sorry?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the whole problem with the AI stuff too, is it's making things, I mean, it's never going to be as good as a human.
Yeah.
And it's taking away jobs from people that
Mhm.
are smart and talented and doing things for a purpose. And that's what's really frustrating.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and then there's the whole like there's the conversation about the distribution platforms training AI without musicians' consent as well, which I think is another thing that is like maybe some people know about, maybe some people don't. Like DistroKid changed their terms and conditions and were like, by uploading your songs, you're consenting to train using AI to train or training AI on your stuff. And then WeTransfer just the other day, same thing. I mean, they had to walk that back real quick because a lot of mastering engineers and recording engineers and stuff because we use it's hard to um
Big files.
they're huge files. I mean, and that's part of the problem. But then it's like, oh no, now we're just changing our terms and conditions, and anything that you have sent, we now have the rights to. So, I mean, I want to shout out Samply, Samply, for being a transfer, like just specifically for audio, but they're an audio transfer platform. Our good friend Justin Perkins swears by it and has for years. And now a lot of us mastering engineers and record cutters and stuff have jumped on that platform. And it is like run by 8 solid people, and they're coming in hot. They've got an incredible platform. There's an app base, so you can go back and forth with your mastering engineer or your recording engineer and talk about edits and previews and things like that. So it's like a faster real-time situation as well. I mean, I use it for audio right now. I just moved everything over from WeTransfer, and have been sending it to my clients to transfer me their audio. And I mean, it's got a slick interface. This isn't a sponsored post for Samply, but I mean, it could be.
Hey, yeah.
Samply, hey, my dudes. Um, and so there's alternatives, but you just kind of have to do a little bit of the digging. Unfortunately, like you do kind of have to read the terms and conditions, and luckily there are some people that actually love to do that.
Actually, more.
If you're not, yeah, if you're not following Top Music Attorney on Instagram, you're missing out. She's brilliant. She is one of those people that read the terms and conditions, and she's bringing a class action against Spotify because of using Sonos, or what is it called? Sono, which is like an AI trainer, and that's when she's one of the people that clued me onto the Velvet Sundown and the controversies surrounding them. So, unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately you can't just be a musician now. You have to be an accountant. You have to be a marketing genius. You have to do design, and now you also have to be a low-key entertainment lawyer. Surprise. Stay in school, kids.
Add it to the dumpster fire.
Yep, it's true.
Well, and so, I think a lot of people think when they think streaming and all of this and how people are consuming music, they're thinking of, Gen Z and millennials. And so that kind of segues into like the next thing where everybody has been doing these surveys.
Mm-hmm. So many surveys.
Um, we did one, but it was focused on jobs. But
Mm-hmm.
the other organizations did one that were focused on music and listening to records. And so we have some stats for that, but we also want to shout out our friend and former board member, Veronica, for her new book that is coming out from Taylor and Francis.
Yeah.
The Vinyl
So cool.
Gender and Collecting Aesthetics. So she spent a lot of time on that. I mean, we talked to her a little while ago.
Years. Yeah, years ago.
Like Carolyn, she's another doctor of vinyl.
Mhm. I mean, when are we going to get our honorary doctorates? You know what I mean? Like, I'd like a sassy hat. We could give a really great commencement speech somewhere. Hey, Berkeley, come on. But I mean, Record Store Day 2025 saw increased foot traffic between 18 and 26-year-olds, saying that they finally bought a turntable, which is great. I would love to know how we're doing with that 50% of people buying records stat that we used to throw around.
Just thinking that. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
now that people are buying their turntables, they're spending time.
Using them. Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, they also gravitate towards artists that they discover on streaming, but then want a physical tie-in to. So like Taylor Swift. But then interestingly, Taylor Swift, I guess, just also pulled her stuff off Spotify.
Great.
Okay.
Great. I love it. Um, I mean, and she did that before too. So this is kind of the second time that she has done that. Hopefully it's for longer this time. Um, I mean, having worked in a record store recently, I mean, that was one of the things that was always like kind of funny because kids would come in and there was like a big Marty Robbins thing for a little while. I was just like, what the, why the hell are you listening to Marty Robbins? Like, what?
I feel
And
like
you know why?
is it commercial?
Fall, no, Fallout.
Oh,
Yeah. Like the Fallout television series specifically had some like Marty Robbins and Marty Robbins adjacent kind of music. And I was like, oh, okay. But then they're like, it's on the Fallout playlist. And then they're like, oh, yeah, well, I need this. I'm like, sorry, that record came out in 1966 and like they didn't make it again. I don't know what to tell you. Like it's like they come in thinking that they know a secret. And I love that. But they're like, hey, have you ever heard of I'm like, yes. Yes, I have. And they think that there's just like they're gonna be sitting there because they want them now. So I understand that they want, they want a physical tie-in, but sometimes that is just not
uh,
possible.
no.
I mean, hold on to your butts for September 19th for the reissue of Buckingham Nicks, the seminal album that brought Fleetwood Mac as most of everybody knows it together.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for someone to do the Squid Game soundtrack. I am
Mhm.
it. Shout out, do it.
I still haven't watched it. Is that weird?
You should watch it. It's but
I still haven't watched Stranger Things also.
well, I guess
I know.
probably better. You can just watch them all in one sitting when they all finish this.
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's been so long since the last one. I'm like, I don't even remember. Are they going to be? They're going to be adults now, I would assume. So, like,
I have no idea. I don't like I literally know nothing about any of it other than like there was an uptick in Metallica for a little bit. But 76% of those surveyed buy records at least once a month. 80% own a turntable. That's great. I mean, I just bought records the other day for the first time in like months.
honestly, yeah,
Yeah. Months.
yeah, they're getting more expensive and it's getting harder. I mean,
Oh my God. 56 Canadian dollars, which is what, like 7 USD, for Lola Young at Urban Outfitters, just because I was there looking for something else. And I was like, ooh, that's a good one. 56 bucks. It's not even a gatefold. Doesn't have an insert.
it's
I mean, it's like transparent red. Sure, fine. But
it's making me crazy though because I mean, that record probably cost. I mean, who knows how many they made, but like
mhm,
$7,
totally.
So it's
Yeah. Yeah. Probably 11 Canadian, probably. Yeah. I was like, oh God.
yeah, there
And
were
then I bought Mayhem too, because Gaga forever. Double gatefold, or sorry, just gatefold, double album, three sides, one side etched, like laser etched with like a leopard print. Ooh, ah. Hot pink with a poster, double-sided 4-panel fold-out poster. 76 bucks, I think.
oh my God.
Yeah,
It kills me in manufacturing knowing how much that cost. Yeah, I was recently
truly.
who was like, "Hey, I've worked with you a while. Someone's trying to have this band sell this record for X amount, and
Hmm.
that just doesn't seem right." He was like, "What's the cost per unit?" And I told him. And so I have yet to see what's going to happen from it. But I'm like,
Hmm.
I mean, as the manager, he was like, "We cannot sell it for that much."
Yeah, yeah.
It's, it's crazy. So, I mean, that statistic is actually kind of surprising to me because it's getting harder and harder.
Well, and I want to know of that 76, like, is that new records or is that used records, like what does that mean? Because I have purchased records from like Waxworks
Sure.
in the last few months, but like that's not going into a physical store to buy those. I've bought records off of Discogs. So like yes, I'm buying records at least once a month, but like not in a store. Like that was my first store experience for like since I was in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, in the UK, I just bought used records because there was Bauhaus from 88, like OG 12-inch. Hell yeah. Take my money. Run away from the store like I stole something.
Traveling.
What's that? Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see. 61% say collecting helps improve their mental well-being to offer a break from digital life, and 50% say collecting is intentionally a digital detox.
Love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you see the
Um,
record collection therapy. So,
hmm hmm Truly. Well, and the reason that we write good songs is because therapy wasn't cute until now. That's why we all have good senses of humor too. 84%. Oh, here we go. Report buying records in physical stores. Okay. But still no breakdown of like new versus used, blah, blah. And 57% prefer record store shopping over online. And again, I would love a breakdown on the gender of it all.
yeah, I definitely
Huh.
think that that stores are seeing more women, non-binary folks.
hmm Yeah. I'm wondering, like, I would really love to just know, like, how was your shopping experience today, though, ma'am? Were you talked down to? Were you, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, because we all know what it's like being in a record store sometimes. Hmm. Overall, it looks like Gen Z is engaging monthly, buying vinyl to define their identity and resist screen overload, which is great. Read a book, touch grass, love it. The analog experience is becoming intentional with quality sound, intentional listening, and going to the store and showing your fandom for the store too. Buy that tote bag, get that T-shirt. It's mental wellness, fandom expression, stress relief, and devotion all rolled into one. And you don't always have to put it on your Instagram.
Yep.
I mean, you can, but you don't have to. Record stores are not just that transactional thing anymore. They're social hubs. I mean, I saw a kid at a show that I was running the other day that used to come in and buy hardcore 7 inches from me. And I was like, hey, you're the kid with the hardcore blog. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, it's so great to see you. How are you? How are things and stuff? And it was great to see her. And she was like, I'm so glad that you remembered me. And I was like, I'm sad that I'm not there to see what kind of gems you're digging out. Cause she was up to the elbows in some of those like 7 inch boxes that I made. And she's like, it's not the same that you're not there. She's like, they're not necessarily the nicest. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. I know that. That's why I'm not there anymore. Um, but overall, she said they still have what she's after. So she's going to keep going there, even though it's not necessarily ideal.
Well,
Poor kid.
uh, well, hopefully the change is coming. Keep
Yeah.
along.
Pick up a book. Pick up our book. Go to the womeninvinyl.com store. Buy a book. Read about all of the women and non-binary folks and POCs that make the records that you listen to and love. Go get our new friend, our not our new friend, our friend Veronica's new book with the Vinyl Revival, Gender Collecting Aesthetics and More. She's been working on it for a long time. Do you want to talk about the hot button Canadian USA? Beep, 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 tariffs. It's Trump's favorite word. It's not my favorite word, but I mean,
I actually found researching some of this really interesting, and I hope that we get some discussion going from other people that work in the industry on it because
yeah,
I am curious to see how it's impacting people. I think when I went to making vinyl this year,
Mhm.
much like I wouldn't say doom and gloom is the right word, but it was definitely like things are rough with US pressing. And we actually haven't faced any raise in price or issues with capacity.
Mhm.
It's happened. So I'm curious to hear from other people where that's happening to them because in researching this, it was a lot of information saying basically like people are better even if they're in the US or North America generally to press overseas,
Mhm.
import it back in, which did not make any sense to me. So, um, yeah, I think the only thing that besides like inner sleeves
Mhm.
and a slight uptick in label pricing because apparently that ink is made overseas.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I have not had any issue thus far with prices being raised 24%, which is what some of the statistics were saying. So
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, I was interested, especially, looking at the Canada US kind of situation because obviously we do send a lot of stuff down where we did. We did send stuff down to you guys. um Not PVC specifically, but lots of soft goods like lumber, nickel, aluminum, those kind of things. I mean, we could talk about lacquers because still lacquers only come from Japan. I don't know that anything has changed in that respect. Um, I know that there was one company in Canada that was absorbing any tariff for American customers only and not subsidizing Canadians.
I'd be
I'm
interested
not.
to know how that was going to work, honestly. That's a lot
Yeah.
to absorb.
It is a lot to absorb. And there was a lot of Canadians that were like, what are you going to do for me? And I don't specifically want to call them out for it, but at the same time, uh, it's not hard to find. They were very transparent about it. In fact, very upfront about it. My question being, though, how many of those records were actually not pressed in Canada so that they could kind of get away from that?
Yeah, and like that was something too that I was curious about because when I was researching this more too, the fact that it was saying finished final imports are exempt due to
Hmm.
original materials was interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I had seen some bans on various social media platforms that were up in arms about stuff because they've been working with GZ for so long,
Hmm.
and that they were told that there were going to be big shipment, um, like huge fines with shipments coming.
Hmm.
And I know that I've seen that with stuff coming in from like stuff that we've packed out from overseas or stuff that we've shipped overseas is getting way stricter in customs. Like
Hmm.
things are being like taken, pallets are being taken apart and put back together, boxes are being
Yeah.
opened and tossed around.
Yeah.
So definitely seeing a lot of that.
I think it's just taking time for everybody to implement what those processes are potentially just because he did go back and forth on so many of them for so long. It's like, and then it takes time to implement or change or whatever. So I always thought that that was going to be a little bit cascading, because it was like, oh, it's 250% today. Oh no, it's only 100 tomorrow. And now it's back to 25. And then, oh, now we're going to double it again. So before you can actually like make a process, you have to agree on the number. But it looks like European pressing plants can ship finished vinyl into the US tariff free, but domestic plants have to pay duties on imports and other like assembly kind of things, which are going to drive up costs again to the consumer. The buyer is the one that pays it, not the nation that is sending it to you. Looks like pressing costs are up all the way across the board, though. And I'm wondering if that is on both sides of the border. Is that like a universal kind of thing? Because everything just costs more.
Yeah, I think like everything just costs more, but at the end of the day,
Mhm.
like we haven't had to raise our prices because of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, we aren't the cheapest either, but I think that we haven't seen the significant, at least so far, I mean, knock on wood, that
Hmm.
case, but currently, we've been able to stay pretty consistent with both, yeah, our
Yeah.
price filling the presses. So I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that because it seems like some others are having a harder time for sure.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I think it's gonna depend on where you're getting some of those materials from. Like I would be interested in talking with like Billy from Clampdown to see how things are shaking out for him in Vancouver. Um, and just like do a Canadian audit and see what it is like and what they're experiencing, just so that we can have a better understanding. But um, I mean, is it turning into people hoarding PVC the way that they hoarded toilet paper? Like,
No, and
you know,
Plastichem and TPC are two
hmm
big ones that people buy plastic from. And uh, we have actually a note here that Plastichem, when all of this started going down, scaled up their US warehouses. And so where
hmm
things were taking like months potentially to get, you can get
hmm
them a lot faster. So that was good. But I mean, even now, like if we order PVC, we could have it in a week or two. So
yeah,
I haven't seen that yet, but I mean, raw materials are still coming from Asia, Thailand, Japan.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think it depends on how he wants to keep implementing things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to have a pause on things. And then I don't know if that actually happened. I know that in Canada, I don't think we've backed down.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
think it's too like how you can, not that people are, I don't want this to sound like people are getting around the rules, but
mhm.
certain loopholes, I guess, for lack of a better word,
Yep.
because when I think back to COVID and when people couldn't work, also
Yeah.
like uh furnace when I was working there, we didn't have to shut down because we had a warehouse. So, I mean, obviously we worked safely, but because of the warehousing aspect of it, we were able to keep pressing where other
Yeah.
shut down. And so I wonder, like, for example, almost everybody gets some print from Ross Ellis, which is printing out of Canada. And so
Mhm.
that's all being imported from across the border. And I wonder if something with them being such a huge operation that if it's like media, if that's somehow
Mhm.
not being taxed right now or something. So,
Yeah, it again, it's that kind of diving into those like terms and conditions to find out. I mean, even like shipping records is kind of a nebulous kind of thing sometimes when I have to look for like harmonized sales codes to send stuff to the US. Like it's like, okay, well, what is this? And if you just like, yeah, if you list it as like one thing in a jacket, it's different than if you list it just like without a jacket. Or, it's like, where is it made? Where are these materials from? And I'm like, well, some of them are from Germany, some of them are from this place. It's technically made in Canada, and then now it's going to wherever. Like, so I mean, it is kind of that loophole thing, but it's also like, how many they don't have that many spaces for you to be able to fully explain your answer also. Which always makes me have like a little bit of anxiety where I'm like, am I lying?
yeah,
Oh God. Like I'm like, I don't want to get put in like prison or like tax prison. Like I don't
like
who
shipping our merch overseas.
yeah, totally.
It's a water bottle that was made, I guess, here. I'm shipping it from here and then stickers and a
Mhm.
adapter. Does someone at customs know what that is? That's how I can describe it, like
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's I mean it's loopholes, and I mean the music business is notorious for having loopholes and workarounds and all of that kind of stuff. So I mean, let's talk about what's going on with SoundCloud.
yeah. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
This is where I got into it in the comments. Um
Because I'm like, that has to be it, right? But I'm curious about the cost.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't look like they're very transparent with the cost. I mean, I'm gonna bring this up because I don't want to quote things wrong. So, Elastic Stage and SoundCloud are partnering to release people's music from SoundCloud onto physical format, whether that is records or CDs. My questions being, where are they getting the masters? Because SoundCloud is not necessarily known for their fidelity. Um, so there's that. um, Nobody wants to make a record out of like 28-bit music that's super compressed for streaming.
Well,
Um,
also, is SoundCloud the one? Because obviously, like Ray does a bunch of DJ mixes, a bunch of DJs
mhm,
Cloud and Mixcloud, and I
mhm,
think one right where people were trying to get by that with like if you leave a moment at the start or you add something to the beginning, then it doesn't catch if it's a sample or something, and I think you could
mhm.
up. So I'm curious too. I don't know if that's been resolved or not, but if things are actually copyright or belong to the people that are getting them pressed or cut, then.
Yeah. Well, and from what I understand from talking through to it, numerous people involved in making short run records, it's just a bunch of lathes.
That's what I mean, I was like, it has to be.
Yeah. That's what I understand it to be. And then up to a certain thing, and then maybe they're brokering getting things pressed. Maybe. Um, it's let me see if I can. Well, their website doesn't work very well. That's one of it. Maybe I'm blocked. LOL. Because it says, yeah, like one-stop shop for artists and labels to create and sell vinyl and CDs. We sell and ship your records to 94 countries. We're a new artist label service for your physical release. You allow us to use your uploaded material and designs to make and sell records. We pay you a revenue share, which I think is like $6 a record from what I've looked at.
What I was saying too. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but you keep your copyright, which is good. Um, and then buy your copies in bulk, multiples of 25 for vinyl and 50 for CDs, and then you can send them to wherever. I mean, it says the vinyl from Elastic Stage production method exceeds the quality of most legacy pressed vinyl. So just with that inflection of legacy, I'm like, okay, so they're saying that they're not pressing. Um, Eco-friendly PETG. So, I mean, to me, that seems like it's, yeah. So let's see.
I mean, I feel like unless it's doing something that we were talking about with like Sonopress or Good Neighbor, but even then, I don't know that it could be that on demand, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, they're selling a premium 12-inch album, so I'm guessing an LP, for 33 sterling. So that's like 65 Canadian. If you get a booklet, it's 39 sterling. A CD is 12, well, $13 for a one EP. With a booklet, it's 15 sterling.
Like,
Yes, these prices are confusing.
so that's like,
Uh, a 12-inch EP is 28 sterling.
I mean,
Um,
so
and
imagine,
I don't think they do sevens either. I think they just do why is everything in British pounds? I mean, I'm fancy, but let's go to US dollary dues. Okay, let's see.
dollars. Says that that's per to the client? It's kind of a lot.
Well, I mean it's kind of in line with lathe cuts though. Yeah. So 38.90 for a 12-inch album. And then if you Like then it's saying your sales price to the fan is 38.90, and then based on how many units you're making, it gives you like a royalty calculator. So let's see if you, because this is what you're going to get paid out, right?
Yeah.
So in my neck of the woods, like people are looking at 100. So you make $1,167 for selling 100 records. For them selling 100 records. And they're making. So of the $3,800 that they charge, that they're taking in, you get 1,100 of them.
Yeah, I have questions for sure.
I have questions as well.
I'm even just reading these reviews where
Mm-hmm.
Spacist from The White Lies is saying that they compared each track to versions cut commercially by the record label and released to the public, and they were prepared
Mm-hmm.
for a slight difference, but every person listening heard an undeniable improvement of 20 to 25% on the Elastic Stage cut, which is astonishing and depressing. Which
Mm.
that I don't know this person, Charles Cave, I'm sorry, but that
Mm-hmm.
sounds like one of those customers that is like hearing sibilance and thinks it's like our fault in pressing, which is just
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I would like to hear those two next to each other because I'm just curious
Yeah.
how are you measuring 20 to 25%? What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to try it.
Well, and I'm interested to see like how the SoundCloud part of it works.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, it looks like in the FAQs, it's like they use your SoundCloud URL
yeah.
to the content,
So I mean, so they're not doing a master, like you're not getting a proper master for it.
which is like why again, how does it sound so much better if you're not mastering it?
Yeah.
But I also am not sure what you can upload to SoundCloud these days as far as like quality masters.
I don't know. Let's but even then it's still just going to be a digital master. Like you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to get a vinyl pre-master ready for cutting. So, and those are like wildly different.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we should make one. We can make one. We should find something and we should
oh, I mean, I have the masters for my record.
we should do
We could just make my record. I mean, that was the first record that I ever cut. So, I mean, I listened to it 1,000 times. I was trying to understand how to make records.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, it's got AI mastering. If you've got Artist Pro for SoundCloud, you get unlimited uploads, booster tracks, distribute and monetize your tracks, replace tracks without losing stats with AI mastering. So, I mean, it's
circle back
not,
to the conversation to begin with.
yeah. I mean, that's exactly it, right? Like, I don't, yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to create some sort of an account or something, but yeah, I mean, they don't, you don't get test pressings with Elastic Stage unless you
Yeah.
buy one, and then it's a one-off cost, which like I get. I mean, depending on the cutter, I and the number of records and like how um maybe how involved the client wants to be, I will make them a test cut just as part of their order anyway, so that they can just check it out. Um, but yeah, I mean, I want to know how many lathes they have because, like, back when I first started cutting records, like, that was one of the things everybody's like, oh, this is such a great idea. Like, but how do you scale it? I'm like, that's called pressing, my dudes. You don't, period. It's literally the thing that you just do it one by one in real time. I mean, making a farm of lathes also takes the reason for it out of the equation, right? Like you're supposed to like listen to it in real time and understand like what's going on with the record. Like just like maybe I just take it way too seriously. I don't know. But like I was with the guys that I was fighting with, well, not fighting with, discussing with in the comments. Like this one guy was just shit talking lathe cuts to no end. And I was like, listen, like there's some of us around the world that like do a pretty good job. And it's not, yes, there are limitations to lathe cuts that we've talked about before. And I'm not going to say it's like as awesome as a press record. I mean, there are, again, limitations to the plastic as well. But like, some people are like, oh, if I found out there was a lathe cut, like I'd be pissed. And I was like, I mean, based on who's doing it, maybe you should be. But like, people think I do a pretty good job.
Heavy slabs.
Yeah. Heavy slabs of plastic also. Yeah. That's what I should have got tattooed on my knuckles. What was I thinking? Could be slabs of ice cream or concrete as well. But like, I was just like, it depends on their cutter and it depends on their gear and like the amount of lathes that are going out around the world every day, thanks to guys like Mike Dixon and innovations in the lathe space alone. Like there's more record cutters out there than ever. And that whole space is just growing and growing, which is crazy because I thought that it was going to be shrinking and shrinking now that we've rebounded from COVID times and pressing plants have capacity again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I do want to just like see what this is all about, but like there's some mastering engineers that I know that have just like talked the most shit about this whole thing. And I tend to, believe those people because they're the ones that are doing the job. So I don't know.
Yeah, we might see. We should see if we can make one.
We should make one of Raid's like Halloween mixes. We should put that up because like that's the other question, right? Is it that there's copyright infringement? There's, because is somebody listening to it? Is somebody like
Questions about that.
yeah. How are you evaluating the copyright? And I mean the biggest thing that I saw in the comments before I decided to dive in was about the masters and about like the bit rate and whatever that you're getting from SoundCloud. Because that was the number one thing. And people are like, well, how do you, because it also kind of seemed like it was the Bandcamp thing where it was like it was only offered to a certain percentage of the artists on Bandcamp and only if you had 100,000 people or
It says something
something.
wait list, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, terms and conditions, and you rolling the dice on something that is like intentionally vague, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well,
But speaking of vague,
the other big news has been Vinyl Me Please.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so many like I mean, I love chucking around the fake news word, but like so many weird little targeted ads or like fake ads about like buying the pressing plant or like them selling off all of their inventory for pennies on the dollar. It's hard to know what was correct. I loved sending them all to you to be like, do you think this is real? Oh my God. Because whoa.
Um, I have to check because I'm not 100% sure, but so
Mhm.
long story short was that Vinyl Me Please is no longer because there was a lawsuit against the execs that accused them of using company funds to build an unapproved pressing plant. And I
Mhm.
remember was starting to like when they were talking about building the pressing plant, I never was under the impression that it wasn't approved. So that's
A
interesting.
whole thing, yeah.
And then because I mean it was pretty like impressive. I mean, they were like from the jump going to have like plating, pressing, everything like top facility. It wasn't someone that was just going to be like pressing in-house. And,
Hmm.
um, they collapsed from the inside while customers were still being charged. I guess the board did not sign off on it, and it was like $200,000 of company funds, so that were not approved.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
I mean, I didn't love the Vinyl Me Please model before anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. Um, as many times as I went to the website and I was like, oh, that's a cool no.
It's interesting to me because I remember when Vinyl Me Please started,
Hmm.
and they actually, because it used to be where you would get a record with a piece of art.
Yep. And a cocktail.
Yeah. There was
Yep.
at the time I was still designing, and they had actually asked me to design for one of one of the releases. And
Hmm.
it's on me, and I can't just say yes. Well, now I say yes probably to too many things, but back then I didn't. And
Can confirm.
I was like, this music doesn't really inspire me. So
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Uh,
Yeah.
but like then it just got so big because then it was like
Hmm.
I do like the hip hop one and the rock one and whatever. And to me, like I guess I understood that because like subscription services, if I don't want the record, then
Yeah.
now what am I gonna do with this?
Exactly. And that's why I was like, I'm out. Like there was no like I need like a subgenre, subscription thing, or it needs to be like there needs to be an understanding of like metal or punk or
Like has to
post rock.
be specific. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
Yeah.
even like if I were to join like a metal subscription, I would need to be like, well, it needs to be stoner doom and it needs to
Hmm.
so it's like even then it's so hard and like I think we're all
Yeah.
discovering new music, but at the same time it's like some of them are too fast.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want a country record personally. It's not my thing.
Well, I mean, it's hard to make a good country record.
Yes. True.
Yeah. But yeah, to me, it was just like, oh, like I already have this record.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't need a reissue of this record. So there's no option for me. And I don't want any from the other streams. Like I don't care.
Yep.
Like so that to me was always like kind of a miss. And then the the fee was getting higher and higher. And I was like, for what
Mhm.
though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember like I can't remember what release it was. I feel like I don't know if it was Queens of the Stone Age, but there was some release where I remember all of a sudden seeing on social media everybody being like, what the hell is going
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just like what is happening? Why am I not hearing from anybody? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Things start I feel like that was a couple years ago though, still. So
I mean, it feels like it's been this like slow decline and then like a big implosion. You know what I mean? Like people were kind of had complaints along the way and then it got like a little bit better for a little bit and then it would get bad again and then people were like nobody's answering me and now I'm not getting my records and I'm still getting charged my monthly subscription fee and I haven't got a record in 4 months. So, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That one's tough because I did like those people that were involved with Finally Please.
Yeah.
When I met them a couple of times, they were good. They were good humans. But yeah, then it's just like turned into a new version of itself, becoming VNYL
Yeah, and
Inc.
that already exist. I
I
think
thought so.
so too. So I wonder, and I don't know for sure if it's the same people or not that
Hmm.
were part of that. Um,
Well, and then there was the other one that was called there's another subscription one that like Henry was kind of adjacent to as well. Maybe it was this one.
you
I
can
don't
tell
know.
on my glasses reflection if you're watching that I'm on the site because everything's pink.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, same. But like we are vinyl without the I. I'm like, well, okay, why though? Like there's no I in team. Like are we kind of like ripping that off right now? Like I don't understand. And like are we leaning it I mean, is this supposed to target that we're ladies also?
Yeah, it says
Yours
uh, the promise is to restore trust and build a smarter data-driven service.
yeah.
Um,
If you're a trio member, you get two additional curated vinyl based on your music taste. Or pick curated to have your month completely handpicked by our team. No, thank you. A team of curators, aka record store clerks, study your music profile to handpick new albums that you'll love.
hmm. So based on is
Hmm.
that based on algorithm or like based on
Like a thing that you send? Like, what do you do?
because I did see something that it says they also own Bandbox and Vinylbox. Um,
Hmm.
and that it says data-driven curation using Spotify, Apple Music, and Discogs insights to predict demand. But what
Oh, so do you have to link all of your accounts? Maybe?
it looks like this
Oh, and this was like a Kickstarter thing.
yeah, it says that like as of June 2025, it's a very new. So I'm
Hmm.
interested if anybody is using it or has made this transition, we would love to hear more about it. Like what, especially if you're doing the curated one. I'm really curious.
Yeah. Oh, VNYL connects to a customer's Spotify account and then based on their listening trends will personally curate and send them three new records each month.
Ooh. Well, uh,
That's a miss.
I yeah, that would be very weird. Would not be accurate.
No, and I mean like
At least for me.
how no, of course. And like but how do they factor in bands that don't exist in there?
Yeah, I mean, especially because like if I'm streaming, it's like because I'm working out and what I'm
Yeah.
watching is very extremely different than what I would buy on vinyl.
Oh, I have questions. Okay, so what is the workout jam du jour right now?
I am always like pop girly when it comes,
Okay.
and so it's not like my record collection.
No, of course not. Yeah. Well, and I mean because there's a lot of those records that don't get made, right? Like that's the other thing. Oh, I'm working with Debbie Gibson tomorrow.
Ooh.
Cool, right? Okay, so let's see. There's a solo, a trio, a triple triple, and BFF. Okay, so solo, 22 US a month. You get one new record each month. Trio for 39 a month. You get three records each month. For $33 a month, you get 3 months of personally curated goodness at an 18% discount. So you get billed $99 every 3 months. So you get nine records over 3 months.
Honestly, that's pretty cheap considering.
That's very cheap.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
just talking about $76 Lady Gaga. Like that's
yeah. Well, and then or there's the 1 year subscription, which is $35 a month, and you get 36 records a year.
hmm.
So three records every month. So yeah, any any way you stack this in their additional tiers is three records a month. You can either have one record or three records. That's it.
Well, I was looking at this other one. It's like Premium Audiophile Collector's Vinyl Box. And if the Vinyl Box website's the correct one that I have linked here,
Hmm.
first of all, I love this headline. Very limited edition banger vinyls.
Oh God. Okay.
And it's vouched by GQ and Soho House,
Huh.
which is interesting. Let's see. Mm,
But I mean, like, also, as somebody that used to listen to Spotify, like, I'm listening to the records I already have.
Hmm.
Usually. Like I'm not listening to a lot of like new stuff because I would make a playlist of records that I have that I couldn't take with me. And that's what I would listen to. So this would be useless to me because I would be like, I already have that record.
Yeah.
I already have these three records.
Yeah.
Like, don't send me another copy of Rumors because I already have like 85 of them. So, like, and it would just be that every month. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do they look at what they sent you before?
Yeah. I mean, like all my Black Sabbath. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Are you interested in Masters of Reality? Oh, wait. Here's a here's Led Zeppelin 2, 3, and 4 and Rumors. Oh, okay. Great. Like,
uh, I definitely think
here's Carole King, Janis Joplin, and Stevie Nicks solo record. Okay. We still have all of those. Great.
does say in one of the things that I was reading that aesthetic is driven by millennials, entry level Gen Z, and alpha consumers. So I feel like, yeah, if you're
Ew.
starting a record collection, maybe that's like a point of entry.
I you're so much kinder than I am. Uh yeah. I mean, I are those I mean, well, we look at the stats. So 18 to 26, is that alpha?
Let me see.
Such an alpha. I mean, I hate to call them alphas because they're definitely not.
Alpha refers to demographic cohort born between 2010 and 2024.
Ew. Okay.
Watch as I wither away.
Yeah, seriously. So they're four, 15, 15 to 2. Great. Okay. Um, awesome.
Oh my
So
God.
that's alpha. Great. Uh, they're definitely so that they're not buying records. Like 15-year-olds are not even in that demographic, right? Like in our RSD survey that we saw, it's 18 to 26. So that's Z? No. Is that Z?
See.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. So, like, I admit that I watch trash TV and I watch Love Island, and one of the girls was like, "Oh, do you like vintage music?" And they were definitely talking about our kinds of music, and I was just like,
Hateful. Hateful. I also feel like vintage gets just thrown around when people don't know what it actually means. But like vintage it actually is a word, like a term that has a specific meaning.
"Uh,
Like it used to be that something are at least it's at least 20 and less than 100. That's vintage. That's what vintage means, like the actual word. So it's like between the 1920s and the early 2000s. So I mean, I guess we listen to vintage music, but like they say it so hatefully. They're like, do you listen to this like old stuff? Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. I was born in the 1900s. Like, God.
well,
But like, how much of that music is getting put on record, or like being made in vinyl, though? You know what I mean?
all the 90s stuff. Oh, I'm glad it is, honestly.
Yeah.
But
But like, are those kids listening to the 90s stuff now?
yes, the ones that are hip.
Yeah. I mean, they were coming into the record store and getting them on CD. I know there's a lot of kids that were looking for like Radiohead and Mazzy Star and stuff like that on CD specifically because they're like, I don't have a turntable and my parents don't have a turntable. And I was like, hey, so fine. You've got whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
But my question just based on the like the VNYL site is like, here's our current tastemakers, and I have not heard of any of those humans. They're all little hashtags, so you can click on them. But I don't I don't know if that's what's informing their record subscription. Like okay, maybe you're going to hear some really cool tunes. I would love to know what that fulfillment looks like and like how they're sourcing things from labels and stuff. Like
Yeah.
what
Is it going to
what
be,
does that look like?
is it literally Vinyl Me Please, just rebrand?
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
definitely feels like they're targeting uh a femme demographic.
Yeah. Yeah. Femme and young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, all of the stats point that way.
Mhm. Yep.
Like with people that are buying records. So it'll be interesting to see at the end of the year what we think.
Yeah.
Hmm. But I mean, I started putting my records into Discogs.
I mean, this is,
Yeah,
this is something.
I know. And I have half of a cube uh that I've put there. I'm like, okay, these ones are all in there. And so now I'm going to work on the next half of the cube. I've committed to starting to organize them
Whoa. Write it down.
while I'm at I know, while I'm at home and I'm not touring because I've been like, oh, okay, when I'm at home now, like I want to dedicate more time to my record collection. So I've started, everyone. I've started baby steps because I mean, Discogs is like easy to navigate. It's fun to use, but that shit takes a long time though.
Yeah, when something doesn't have a barcode, oof.
Yeah. But even when it does, I mean, like even trying to enter I already entered Mayhem and
Okay.
I entered my little like so yeah the new ones I got all of those in already, even the Bauhaus ones that I got in the UK, got put them all in. Feel like I'm doing the Lord's work,
Yeah.
doing it.
The people that
Um,
like will create a listing, those people.
yeah, I've done that. I've done that for some of like when I used to be more keen on putting things into Discogs. I had a few records from my grandpa's collection that I was putting in, and I was like, oh my God, really? But I guess it's like the closest I'm ever going to get to being an archivist, I guess.
Yeah.
Shout out to our sweet Amanda. But but yeah, I mean, it's taken some time. And then there's the question, like, I'm going to make a soundtrack section.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But then I also am like, okay, well, but I'm not going to just make like a punk section because that is a lot of my records. So then is it just alphabetized at that point and then you make like a mini section for a subsection? You
You
know what I mean?
welcome to my brain.
And this is why we're friends, truly. But like, that's why I've been so hesitant to do this undertaking because I'm like, what if I change this shit in 3 months? Like, what? I'm gonna look like John Cusack in High Fidelity, which is like stacks of records, and then again, like with Masters of Reality collection, 54 records. Do you have them all in one section? Is it the Masters of Reality section? And
All,
it's just those ones. Yeah, but
so
are
they
they beside each other?
and they're in order of release.
Okay, not acquisition.
No, release. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm already planning for how I'm going to organize rumors.
Yeah. Yeah. Black Sabbath is its own thing, but then it's
Yeah,
uh
yeah.
but yeah, it's by year. So it's been release and then by year. But normally
Okay,
genre alphabetical chronological.
got it.
So
Yeah.
but even with our soundtracks, because we have so many horror soundtracks, those are kind
Yeah.
of separate.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, and like soft shout out to Waxworks because I just got the reissue of the original Godzilla soundtrack, which was
I'm so glad that they
yeah, it's great work. Well worth the wait. It's beautiful. Also, it's like a wicked little like two color and then a section of splatter, which is really nice, and the labels look really great. And then I also got Interstellar, which is just like one of the most beautiful compositions, I think, in modern film. And then I also got Nosferatu.
Nice. Yeah, I still need.
It's so good. It's so good. So I mean, thanks Waxworks, take all my money. Um, but I mean, I also like I have a pre-order for the new Kevin Gray remaster of Buckingham Nicks coming. So I mean, I have that record. I have the original versions of it. I have three of them. So now I'll have the new one, and it comes with a couple new singles, so that's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have anything on pre-order right now?
No, nothing on pre-order right now.
Oh, I also got the Deftones on pre-order.
Yeah, I have to pre-order that.
Yeah. They're playing here on my birthday. Pretty excited. Pretty excited about that one. But might have to go to Montreal to see them on September 8th because Idols is playing with them there, but not here.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of bands that I will go to the barricade for, Jen, as you know.
yeah. We had to
Idols will be one of them.
pause buying some things for a moment because we were not anticipating going to Birmingham.
Birmingham. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, once in a lifetime concert.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we could probably do a whole podcast just on that.
oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
A rotating stage. I mean, I would have just liked to be there, just like production wise, just to look, just to be around. Cause I was like, are they sharing backline? Like, how the hell are they going to pull off 7-minute changeovers? What? What?
Thing that I think is funny too that I don't know that anybody really talked about because I actually like went on Reddit and looked for it after the fact is the fact that
Hmm.
was the host, right? So
Hmm.
like would come out and like talk between bands and all this kind of thing. And then when Pantera came on, he was like, I'm a big fan. I'm going into the crowd, like pounded his beer, handed it to someone, and like went and started mosh pitting in the crowd. And then never came back. Tom Morello, the new host. And so for for the rest of the show, it was just Morello. And I was like, Ray and I are like, is anybody else like, where did Momoa go?
Aquaman went too hard in the pit.
That was it. Never came back.
He's just like, we're good. I'm going to go hang out with the guys from Pantera. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you had good weather too. That was awesome.
Weather. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
actually like a really terrible time here in Texas was the floods and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom and my sister were like, it's crazy storming here. And I was like, how do we have like beautiful weather in the UK and you guys are getting rain?
Hmm. I mean, global warming,
Right.
climate change, these things are real. I know I was looking at the map thing and I was like, oh my God, that's like by Austin. I was like, Jen, I hope Jen's house is okay.
Crazy.
Yeah. We're getting crazy rain here right now too, which is like almost kind of the same that we had in 2013 when we had our wicked bad floods. So hopefully that doesn't happen here as well. But as Russell likes to say, we're not anywhere close to the river valley anymore, so whatever. My records are fine and it's good. But yeah, I thought you would like that archiving library update that
That's wild.
I'm diving in. I might do a little like Instagram live and see how everybody while I try and beat up the monotony of it. Be like, oh hey look, here's all the records that aren't in my Discogs. So I think let's just
At,
have a look.
at Discogs, you could be a sponsor.
Yeah. And you should be. I'm just gonna say it. I don't even care anymore. Um, let's see. What does this say? I have only 317 of my records in Discogs currently.
I still have a ways to go too, honestly, because it does
Yeah.
become a little daunting.
It is daunting. And then you just keep adding, ones to your want list or whatever too, and then buying things and whatever. But
Yeah, I have like
it's
2000 in mine, and that definitely doesn't cover it.
no. that does not cover yours. Definitely not. But we're making progress. It's all good.
Well,
Cool.
we got
we did it. Here's a new hot episode.
Yeah.
As always, cancel Spotify.
join our
join our Patreon. Help us to continue doing the good works that we're doing. We can tell you some more about that over on Patreon if you would like to join the club. Go to the job board if you're looking for a job. We have some jobs up there. We have some merch that you can buy. It's almost spooky season, and Jen will come through, guaranteed, again, with some incredible designs as she always does. So make sure that you have, I don't know, is that an RSS thing? Keep your eyes on the things and find out, because every freaking year that shit sells out. If you want to be one of the cool kids, get your merch early.
Yep.
And we appreciate it. You can see us on YouTube, should you want, and like, subscribe, comment, do all the things down below. We will always reply to you. Just be nice.
Yeah.
That's all. Just be nice. But tell us what you think about all of the things. How do you feel about a record subscription? What would you want your record subscription to look like? Do you have a hardcore of the month record that you would love to send me? Because I would be interested in that. As always, womeninvinyl.com.
Thanks for listening.
Get into it. Here's another one. Bye.
This episode has been brought to you by Women in Vinyl and Red Spade Records. Thank you for listening. Please remember to subscribe, and you can always contact us directly by visiting www.womeninvinyl.com.